Hey guys, many of you have been asking us to create a video on the best tips to pass the police exam, and we've listened. We hope that you find these tips helpful. If you put these tips into practice, you'll pass the police test with flying colors, no question about it. Alright, let's get straight to it. The very first thing you need to do is research the exam. You'd be surprised at just how many people just don't do their research. After all, if you don't know what's on the exam, how will you know what to study? Take some time to learn what type of questions are asked on the police written exam, what fitness standards are expected by your local police department, and what to expect during the oral board exam. Learn more about your local police department too. The more you know about the exam, the better decisions you'll make about what to study, when to study, and why. We've already covered a lot of this on our blog already. Check out the link in the description box below for more details. So once you've done this research, you'll need to make a study plan. We can't stress enough how important planning is. Planning gives structure to your study. An effective plan meets your targets, but it's also one that is realistic and something you can stick to. You can't expect to learn everything in a short space of time. After all, life gets in the way when we least expect it. Instead, prepare a plan that meets realistic objectives. When developing that plan, try not to spend more time on your preferred subjects. It's easy to fall into the trap of spending more time on the subjects we most like to study. Try to avoid this type of bias by spending more time on your weakest subjects instead. By doing this, you can turn those weaknesses into strengths and maximize your long-term exam result. Third, you need to be motivated to study. It's true. Very few of us like to study. Does anyone? One of the problems with studying is that we often don't see the relevance of what we're studying. Many people ask, why are we studying math, vocabulary, and reading comprehension? What relevance does it have? If you are one of those who believe that these subjects have no value to your future career, you're unlikely to be motivated to study them. But the reality is that these topics are relevant. In fact, extremely relevant. That's because we all use numbers, language, and communication in our day-to-day work. That's no less true of police officers. In fact, if anything, it's truer. By testing these subjects, the exam measures your critical thinking skills, how effective you are at problem solving and working things out. And in law enforcement, critical thinking skills are incredibly important. So, the more you see the relevance of what's being examined, the more motivated you'll be to study that material. Fourth, you need to know how to study. Of course, everyone studies in different ways. No two people are the same. Some people prefer to take notes, whereas other people prefer videos such as this or even audio. Use what works best for you. No matter what way you prefer to study, always try to keep these factors in mind. Keep distractions at bay. Turn off mobile devices and keep the TV off. Don't casually check social media either. You need to stay disciplined throughout each study session. Discipline matters. The best performing candidates on the police exam are those who remain disciplined throughout their study over many months. Next, you need to find a defined study space. For example, you shouldn't study on your bed because your mind links that to sleep. Find a defined study space that is associated with study and study alone. Third, you should study one topic for each 50-minute period. Know what you intend to learn in that period and what you want to take from that study session. Fourth, take a 10-minute break after each 50-minute study session. You need to oxygenate your brain and keep things flowing. Breaks give you this opportunity. Do whatever you need to relax and unwind. Then return to study your next topic. Fifth, you need to revise what you have learned. At the start of the next study session, take some time to revise notes you put together from the previous study session. Revise those notes again on the third day and again on the seventh day. The more revision you do, the better. You need to build these tips into your study for two reasons. First, to maximize the value of each study session. Second, to convert short-term memories into long-term memories. In the end, it's these long-term memories that deliver exam results. Fifth, gather all study materials for the police exam. You need to ask yourself the question, do I have all study materials I need to pass the police exam? You may be using police department aid. It might be a short PDF, or perhaps you're attending some local classes. It's often provided, but one of the drawbacks is that the material is often not current and not up to scratch. They provide few practice questions, and so you're never really fully prepared. But if you're cool with that, you're more than welcome to use it. But just be aware of these risks. After all, we're trying to get you to score very high, more than 90% for you to be competitive. There's also some great police test prep books out there. Again, you have the problem that their content isn't as current as you would like. Plus, no one book can cover all police departments. That said, there are a lot of great test prep books out there that you should consider using. Finally, there are online police test prep sites. You have probably already come across a few. At policeteststudyguide.com, we have put together over 600 test questions on all aspects of the police exam. We've also put together some cool full-length practice exams to give you some real-life experience of what to expect, as well as some really neat flashcards, over 400 now I believe, to cover all aspects of the written exam, fitness test, and oral board exam. We also make it interactive too, with some great video lessons and quiz tools. The great thing about test prep sites is that you can bring them anywhere, anytime, as they are fully online and mobile and tablet friendly. As you can see, it gives you a lot of different options and the flexibility to learn what you need when you need to. So yeah, that's what we offer at Police Test Study Guide. But no matter what learning materials you use, you need to study it well and learn from your mistakes. That's what's important. Finally, you must prepare for exam day. To be fully prepared for the exam, there are 4 factors to consider. First, there is no point cramming. Study after study shows that cramming is not effective. Late night cramming also reduces your potential sleep time too. You need enough sleep to perform well on the exam. Second, it's important that you show up to the exam on time. Make sure you have enough time to make it to the exam center. Life can throw you curveballs when you least expect it. Try to arrive at least 15 to 20 minutes before the exam is about to start. The last thing you need is rushing to the exam hall, all flustered about to start the test. You need to stay calm before the exam. Arrive early, it's a must. Third, you need a healthy breakfast. The healthier, the better. It almost goes without saying. Exams are draining experiences, and you need all the energy you can get. For breakfast, eat wholesome, healthy, and natural foods, as well as foods high in protein. Avoid processed foods and sugars at all costs. They only provide short-term energy bursts and rapidly leave you energy deficient, craving for more, and can lead to the onset of fatigue. Finally, you need to manage your time. Try to manage your time so that you have enough time to answer each question. Don't let 1 or 2 questions take up a disproportionate amount of time. Better to get those questions wrong and spend your time on many more questions which you can get right. Don't rush through the exam either, as you're more likely to make mistakes, even on easy questions. Keep an eye on the time throughout the exam and be sure to have enough time to review your answers. So, that's it guys. These are our top tips to help you pass the police officer exam. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe and hit the notification bell. Also, don't forget to check out our website at policeteststudyguide.com for more great content to help you pass the police exam.